Good afternoon now, and welcome to this standing committee meeting for Wednesday, June 1st, 2020. Council will continue to meet virtually on Tuesdays and Wednesdays until further notice. All meetings will stream live on the city's YouTube channel. Our first order of business is public comment. I would like to remind all speakers that the rules of council state that comments are limited to matters of concern, official action, or deliberation, which are or may be before city council. Profanity will not be permitted. May we please have the first speaker, please, which is Ms. Carmen Brown.
Yes, good afternoon. So I wanted to speak on I guess you'll be voting
Ms.
today.
Brown, please,
Can you hear me?
Your name and neighborhood for the record.
Okay, my neighborhood, Carmen Brown, my neighborhood is East Liberty.
Thank you.
Lincoln Lemington area. So I wanted to speak a little bit about this TRED again, and these are the concerns that I have, first and foremost. Okay, and I wanted to ask this, and I had some questions, and, so I want y'all to think about some of this when y'all make a decision. Okay, and I want to ask about the TRED. Should the TRED be, the TRED should be expanded to include larger geographic areas so that there could be more opportunities to do affordable housing in this area. And then by expanding the TRED, it would only be limited to the commercial core. So Walnut Capital and all those commercial businesses, they would benefit from this. And then what happened to the Penn Plaza people? This was when this was actually put in place, it was supposed to be helping the Penn Plaza people. So where are we where are we at with this? Nobody has actually talked to us about this because we already had decided what it was going to be based on the court order that's already in place. Okay. And then also I have a question too, is that the TRED Housing Committee was only supposed to have representatives from the community and, maybe somebody from the mayor's office. Why does Councilman Burgess have his aide sit on the committee? That don't make any sense. We were wondering about that as well. And also, there was a couple questions that somebody else actually asked me to ask. And, and I'm curious about this too. The public park next to the Gumbird site is gone. It says, we have heard nothing from the city about the timetable for replacing it. And will the community actually see the park rebuilt? Okay, so those are the things that I have. Those are the questions. And I wanted to also mention this as well, is that if you all vote in favor of Burgess's plan, there's going to be consequences. I'm just letting you know there's going to be consequences because now we have to go back to court. That means that, we're going to have mediator because we're going to speak about the fact that you all, if you vote for him, that means you don't really care about, expanding on this affordable housing. So, there's going to be consequences behind, all this. I don't even understand why we're even having a discussion about this. This is already, it's already clear cut. It was already agreed upon. And, we already had a court order, so we shouldn't even be having this discussion. So I just wanted to put that out there. So that's my comment.
Thank you. Next on the line, we have Miss Jennifer Haven. Ms. Haven,
yes. Hi, my name is Jennifer Haven. I live in the neighborhood of Friendship. I live on South Pacific Avenue. I'm also calling it about the TRED. There's going to be a vote on legislation 0252 of 2020 regarding the TRED expansion in East Liberty today. A no vote is going to significantly undermine the Housing Committee's ability to fund affordable housing in the Penn Plaza immediate area. The committee consists of 5 members, 1 vote each: the City of Pittsburgh, Bloomfield Garfield Corporation, the Friendship Community Group, East Liberty Development Incorporated, and the Enright Park Neighborhood Association. These organizations all at least are partly located in District 9, and their desire to spend the approximate $2.8 million that's allocated to them is also to spend that money within District 9 and as close to the original Penn site plaza as possible. if you limit the receiving area to the 1/2 mile as it currently exists, that's going to limit the committee's ability to work with nonprofit developers, because the cost of the parcels in Central East Liberty Business District right now are just prohibitive, and much of that development has already taken place. If you haven't yet reviewed the TRID enabling legislation, please do that before you vote. You really need to be informed before you vote on behalf of the citizens and your constituents. It states in no uncertain terms the TRID receiving area can be up to 3/4 mile radius from the transit station. You have the ability to do that. The municipal governing body has the exclusive right under the TRID enabling legislation to expand or reduce the receiving area, also called the value capture area. The county, city, school district, and port authority must together amend the tax parcels, but it's your authority to enlarge the receiving area where we are able to spend that $2.8 million. Also, if you haven't done so or you haven't done so recently, please review the consent order dated October of 2017. The city has to support the elements of the order. The city solicitor, the developer, and the 4 interveners agreed to a set of responsibilities. We have been working really well with the developer, and we have been working very well between the intervener's attorney and the city solicitor to bang out the terms of the consent order initially, and now also fulfilling those terms. Please uphold the city's responsibility under the consent order and vote yes to fund the TRID expansion study. This is going to allow the community interveners and the housing committee to continue to work towards a positive outcome. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Our next speaker is John Axtell.
My name is John Axtell. I live on South Pacific Avenue in Friendship, and I'm a member of the Housing and Planning Committee of the Friendship Community Group. I speak in support of the expansion of the East Liberty TRID Zone. The proposed TRID Zone expansion is the product of careful planning and discussion that led to the creation of the Penn Plaza Consent Order, which was agreed to by the City of Pittsburgh, the Gumberg Real Estate Interests, and multiple affected community organizations. The order was reviewed and signed in October 2017 by Judge Joseph James of the Allegheny County Court of Common Pleas. The TRID Zone expansion will aid in the creation of a new affordable housing fund using a portion of the increased assessment resulting from new development on the Penn Plaza site. The 1/4 mile expansion of the TRID zone to the north of Penn Avenue and to the west of Nagley Avenue at the Penn Plaza site will permit replacement housing for the over 200 units lost to redevelopment to be located as close as possible to residents' previous homes on all sides of Penn Plaza, rather than only in downtown East Liberty, which is the case under the present 1/2 mile TRID zone. If any member of council has questions regarding the details of this legislation, including any aspect of its legality, I urge this body to postpone their vote and get answers from the mayor and city solicitor. The mayor and city solicitor support all provisions of the consent order, as do the Gumbergs and the community parties. I therefore urge city council to join in supporting the consent order. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Crystal Jennings. You're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Awesome. Good afternoon, City Council. As you know, October 27th, 2017, the consent order issued by Judge Joseph James and resolving the Penley Park South redevelopment plan. His order bounded all parties, included City of Pittsburgh and the other 3 or 4 other parties for that, to expand the East Liberty TRID assistance area to a 3/4 mile radius from the East Liberty Michael Luther King busway station. We understand the legislation to amend the East Liberty TRID planning study so as to provide for the boundary expansion call for the consent order is currently under consideration again this week by City Council. And the reasons we would love for you to expand the TRID, they include the need to provide replacement affordable housing for the 312 apartments were lost for Penn Plaza South Complex, was vacated and demolished for the Penn Plaza residents. The need to provide such housing in this area as close to feasible to the Penn Plaza site in a full radius around the property. The need to provide mixed income housing in East Liberty, Garfield, Friendship areas to address increasing development pressure and loss of existing affordable housing. So again, this week I'm saying to you guys that we want you to vote yes on the expansion. We really, really need affordable housing in East Liberty. There has been a lot of housing demolished in that area. And like me, myself, I was born and raised in East Liberty. I cannot afford to live in East Liberty anymore. So again, I'm from Wilkinsburg now, live over in Wilkinsburg. And it's just a hard time. So I really want you guys to vote yes on the expansion. We tremendously need affordable housing and to work with developers that are able to conduct and hold those housings in those areas. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our last speaker is Alethea Sims.
Oh, okay. Everybody can hear me then, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. First of all, thank you for pronouncing my name correctly. That doesn't often happen. I am president of Coalition of Organized Residents of East Liberty and a lifelong resident of the 9th Council District. I have been working with the Penn Plaza Support and Action Coalition for the past few years. I can remember seeing on the news that Mayor Peduto said that site over on South Beatty was to be replacement housing for the Penn Plaza residents. I am in partnership with Trek Development on North Beatty that's supposed to be replacement housing for the Penn Plaza residents. That site is outside of the boundaries of that TRID. So if there is funding that can help make more affordable housing in East Liberty, in Garfield, in Friendship, all of these areas that are surrounding the Penn Plaza site, by all means, do it. People need housing they can afford. There has been too many low-income housing, I don't say affordable because let's face it, East Side Bond is affordable to somebody, just not to me. There needs to be housing that normal people can afford. There is a shortage of housing, and unless you're going to put all 30,000 needed affordable units on that site, which I doubt because Walnut Capital doesn't do that, expand the boundaries so that it can happen. Thank you. Oh, before I go, I talked with the URA board, and there has been no discussion with Penn Plaza residents about what's happening on Penn Plaza replacement housing sites. Let's change that too. Now I'm done. Thanks.
Thank you very much. That does exhaust our list of speakers for today, so we will move on to our standing committee agenda. And would the clerk please take the roll?
Edwin Burgess.
Here.
Mr. Coghill.
Here.
Ms. Gross.
Here.
Mr. Kraus.
Here.
Mr. O'Connor.
Here.
Al Smith. Ms. Strasburger.
Here.
Mr. Wilson.
Here.
Mr. Lavelle Chair.
Here.
8 members present.
Thank you. That takes us to our first committee of the day, which is Finance and Law, chaired by myself. We have three new papers, excuse me, Bill 366.
Bill 366, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Finance to enter into access agreements with Collective Efforts LLC for 2 city-owned sites located at 700 Harrion Avenue and 33 Webster Avenue to conduct a Phase 2 environmental assessment, and further authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Finance to enter into any necessary agreements with Northside Industrial Development Company to document the terms of its use of U.S. Environmental Protection Agency grant funds to cover the cost of these assessments.
Need a motion?
Motion to approve.
Need a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion from members? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? The bill is recommended. Bill 367.
Bill 367, resolution authorizing pursuant to Chapter 210 of the City Code, the mayor and director of the Department of Public Safety to accept a donation from the Tree of Life congregation of $200,000 to be deposited into the Public Safety Support Trust Fund.
Need a motion?
Motion
So
to
moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Bill is recommended. Bill 369.
Bill 369, resolution authorizing the director of the Office of Management and Budget to issue a request for proposal in search of qualifying organization to complete a performance audit of contracts between nonprofit organizations and the city.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any conversation? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Bill is recommended. That takes us to our invoices. We need a motion on the invoices.
So moved.
Need a second.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Invoices are approved. That takes us to P cards. We have P cards for approval. Need a motion?
Motion to approve.
Need a
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? P cards are approved. That takes us to our Public Works Committee, chaired by Mr. Coghill. We have a number of new papers, Bill 358.
Bill 358, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Public Works to enter into an agreement with Civil and Environmental Consultants, Inc. for ongoing wetland monitoring and reporting in 9 Mile Run, Frick Park, in the amount of $29,000 through 2022.
Need a motion, Ms.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Bill is recommended. Bill 359.
Bill 359, resolution authorizing acceptance by the city of the dedication of certain property in the Smallman Street project in the 2nd Ward, 7 Council District for public highway purposes and further accepting any grading, paving, lighting, curbing, traffic signals, street trees, and public utilities located therein, and fixing the width and position of the roadway and sidewalk thereof.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Councilman Lavelle, I'll just speak briefly. I talked to Councilman Coghill about this as well. And so just for context, as you know, this has been a massive project between 16th and 21st on Smallman, and in front of the produce terminal, but also extending to the other side of the street. You know that the water main was replaced. It was a massive public work or PWSA project that was completed. And to put the roadway back to the plan, which designs the street, it's necessary to actually add sidewalk space to the eastern side of Smallman, where you picture in your mind's eye some of the big warehouse storefronts. There's actually kind of no sidewalk area. So it's been a kind of crazy 90-foot wide free space for a long time. And so while some cities are increasing what they call kind of shared space in areas like this, this is the final design of a very long community conversation that's taken several years, lots of community meetings. And so the final design actually kind of has pedestrian area on both sides of the street defined. And so these swaps are necessary in order to create those pedestrian areas on both sides of Smallman, to put it simply.
Thank you. Any other conversation? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Bill is recommended. Bill 360.
Bill 360, resolution vacating a certain portion of Smallman Street situated in the 2nd Ward, 7th Council District.
Need a motion?
Approved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Bill is recommended. That takes us to Land Use and Economic Development Committee, chaired by Mr. Wilson. We have one deferred paper, Bill 252.
Bill 252, resolution consenting to an amendment to the L-TRID planning study and authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of City Planning on behalf of the city to take necessary actions to seek necessary consent for, and if obtained, to undertake an amended planning study as a prerequisite to considering an amendment to the current East Liberty Transit Revitalization Investment District boundaries.
Motion to hold for 1 week.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Bill is held 1 week. That takes us to Intergovernmental Affairs Committee, chaired by Councilwoman Gross. One supplemental paper, Bill 382.
Bill 382, resolution providing for an agreement with the Family Mediation Center of Western Pennsylvania to provide mediation between tenants and landlords and training to community members to prevent evictions in the city. Training for community members will help establish a peer mediation program to prevent issues between landlords and their tenants early on in an amount not to exceed $50,000.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Bill is recommended. We have 3 new papers, Bill 362.
Mr. Chair, if you don't mind, Madam Clerk, you could read all 3 together. I'm going to hold them all.
Bill 362, 363, and 364.
Thank you.
Okay. Bill 362, resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official sewer facilities plan for Duncan Street Townhomes at 5308, 5314 Duncan Street. Bill number 363, resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official sewer facilities plan for 52nd Street Townhomes at 724 and 728 52nd Street. Bill number 364, resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official sewer facilities plan for 39th Street homes at 204, 206, and 208 39th Street.
Motion to hold 2 weeks.
Second.
Motion to hold 2 weeks. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All 3 bills will be held 2 weeks. That exhausts our agenda for today. We do have a number of meeting announcements. Council will hold a virtual briefing this Wednesday, June 3rd, with 2 sessions, one at noon and one at 2:30 p.m. as it relates to the PWSA PA Public Utility Commission ruling. We also have a cablecast public hearing that will be held on bills 236 and 237 relative to the historic designations for the Ewalt and Maury Addison houses in Lawrenceville, and it is scheduled for Tuesday, June 9th at 1:30 p.m. via the Zoom platform. To register for a comment at this hearing, please call the City Clerk's office at 412-255-2138 by noon on the 9th. You may also register comments by emailing the City Clerk's office at cityclerksoffice@pittsburghpa.com. Any announcements or discussion from members? Seeing none, I need a motion to excuse the absent member, approve the minutes, and adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you all.